A lot of, I mean, it's been a lot of poo stories. I mean, it's 3 or 4. You live long enough, you're gonna have weird stories
I'm
of
gonna
poo
have
yourself.
crapping
Yeah.
problems.
Yes, if you do live long enough, you will have problems pooping. There is a company that has survived. They're called Depends. That's all they do is people with problems pooping. Just to let you know that.
Yeah, I mean, there's multiple. Mine was I ate this crazy and it was my roommate, or not roommate, but a guy I had staying at my house. He was like, dude, here's this, it's the best lasagna ever made, dude, and it's this company over here, dude, and that's all they do is lasagna, and it's the greatest thing, the best cheese and whatever. And he was really geeked. I came home and went, dude, lasagna, right? Cool.
Sweet.
So I had a piece, and then I think I had a piece the next day, or maybe I had a piece, and I was like, dude, that stuff is really good. Dude, knock it out. I got the whole thing. So I think the next night I had like 2 pieces. Generous pieces. Well, that had formed some cement-like concrete filling that would not, like, if you couldn't pass. And he was like, dude, everything worked fine for me. I was like, you're also a giant, right?
Right.
He was your size but weighed like 365 pounds, right?
That is big boy.
That is a big boy. And yeah.
Is it
wa-
all muscle or all fat?
I mean, he's a giant. He looks like a giant on a movie, like. So yeah, it was
My secret home remedy for whenever I get blocked up is Jimmy John's. Yeah, I'm dead serious. I go out, got Jimmy John's, and within 2 hours of eating Jimmy John's, I'm like, oh, here we go. The train is leaving the station. I don't know why, but
That's terrible.
and that's a regular food that just does it to you.
yeah, just does it for me.
Like, what do you get? Like,
Same thing every time 'cause it's delicious. I get a garjunwich because I'm allergic to the bread, so you get it wrapped in lettuce. You get
When
Dijon there,
when
you
did
get
you
some
become
sprouts
when
and-
did you become allergic to bread, sir?
when did I become allergic to bread? The minute that I was crowned out of my mother's womb. I've
Ain't
always,
nobody heard of that stuff 25, 30 years ago.
Yeah,
People
well, that was the problem, right? So we're finding out now that celiac is like very much hereditary. So like my mom has it, she passed it on to both of her kids, and the way she found out was that we would have pizza night every Friday, like normal family deal. Friday night we get some pizza from Cottage Inn, classic pizza down in our hometown, and we'd have our pizza, and then the next day my mom would spend literally the entire day in the bathroom. Every Saturday for like a straight year. And she was finally like, this is not normal. I'm going to go in and get checked out. And they're like, well, there's this new thing and you can do this test. So she did the test. And we were like, haha, that sucks. You can't have donuts. Haha, Mom. Well, it turns out about 2 years later, we were like, yeah, you got it too. Haha, you can't have donuts either.
Okay, I mean, I eat White Castle and I poo a lot. Like what? Like it's this
Right.
like horrible poo. Has your like bread allergy ever put you in a situation where you had to finger your own bunghole to like and you're sweating and
Yes.
thinking you're going to the hospital?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Well, how come you didn't just tell me that story? Why did I have to ask? I don't know.
Well,
if I believe you.
that story was coming, but
Yeah, it was working its way there.
my I guess we'll just get right into it. My finger your own butthole story. When I was
You're next.
Yeah, you're next on
Get away
fingering
from me.
buttholes. When I was, so this is before we knew that I had the gluten allergy, but it was one of the factors leading up. I was like 11, 12 years old, and I got to a point kind of like you, where like it hurt like a dickens to come out. Every
You
time it
didn't have
came
to
out,
use
it
that
was like
words. It hurt like a dick. Go ahead. Dickens. And you paused a little bit before the Ickens. Go ahead.
so it hurt like
Like a son of a gun.
like a son of a gun there. It hurt like the worst
There
thing
we
you've
go.
ever felt, at least at 12 years old. And I started like having to like pull my cheeks apart to get it to come out. And but at 12 years old, 11, 12 years old, you don't really want to admit that you're pulling your cheeks apart. So I went to school one day and it happened, and I pulled my cheeks apart and got it all got myself all cleared, and then you got poop on your fingers, so you got to take care of that. And
So I mean, okay, you're a narrow hineyed individual.
Right, I am
You're
not a big guy.
Yeah, you're a narrow ass individual. But when you did, you couldn't have just grabbed the cheeks and pulled them from that spot. You had to like get.
Oh,
your
you
fingers
you
right.
had to get right up in there, man. You couldn't just like, let me just part it a little bit. No, it was full hand on each cheek and
Oh
just
my
rip
God.
that bitch apart. I mean,
Oh my
let's-
God.
Now, how I got caught, because I've been doing this for like a week, and it was like, all right, it's embarrassing. I'm not going to say anything. There's no way at 11 years old you're going to be like, I can't poop. I have a problem, because you're 11 years old. It's embarrassing. But when I did it at school, I didn't grab the toilet paper correctly, and I kind of left a little poop smear on the wall, and then the one of the kids that went in after me was like, there's a poop smear on the wall, and all of a sudden it became a huge thing. Now I'm called into the principal's office, and they're like, did you see this poop smear on the wall? And I was like, oh, I didn't see it. I didn't see nothing. Poop smear on the wall? It's crazy. Well, who went to the bathroom? Yeah, well, this guy was in the bathroom in front of me.
Ooh, so they dropped a dime on you and whatever?
And this guy went in, and he was like, or he was in the bathroom behind me, and he was like, yeah, it was there. I just didn't touch it. I ain't going to touch that. Well, it came out that, yes, it was Al's poop smear, and my parents read me the riot act, and then were like, what the hell were you thinking? And I was like, well, I can't poop. So they took me to the doctor, and they did the whole, like, well, what are your symptoms? It gave me some medicine, and it cleared up in about a week, but that was the first of, like, okay, that is not normal for an 11-year-old that eats a pretty good diet to just randomly be like, I can't poop.
No, constipation. I mean, there's a whole area of constipation, like at CVS.
Right.
It doesn't happen to many people often or whatever, but okay,
It
so
happens enough.
it happens enough. I mean, constipated. I don't know, like it just like an angry poo and whatever. I'd
Right.
never had anything when I was younger, and I told you the almost spoon trick, where I was just kind of, which I guess that should have come back to me.
Right.
that happened.
Yeah,
but
why
what
did you use a spoon?
Yeah, what a variance. I think, I don't know. Because I think at 9 or 11, I was like, I'm not putting my finger. I'm not going to break that loose with a finger. What do I have around here that would...
Yeah.
Yoink, yoink.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got caught with a smeary poop.
Smeary
and-
poo, and
Ew.
I guess it's a good thing I did, because apparently it's a really serious problem, and 11 years old, nothing is a really serious problem, but apparently it can back up, and it can
Oh, no,
actually
it's...
filter into your bloodstream and start seeping out of your intestines into other places, and you go into septic shock and die.
Yeah. What about you? Anything? Any random poo stuff? Good, bad, indifferent? Have you had like a really good poo, like a non-wiper? When's
Yeah.
the last time you had like a non-wiper?
Jake, I rarely eat anything. What makes you think I'm actually gonna crab?
You poo.
Again, there's a great book, Everybody Poos.
See, now look, you got Al twisting the mic and whatever.
Because I want to get right up over here, because I feel like there is...
I already have 2 boys at home that poo. I do not need to go.
So you're saying you have 2 boys at home?
Yes, they're 2 boys.
And she's also saying that she's the equivalent of the Grandmaster, North Korean, whatever.
Oh, yeah. Kim
that they
Jong-un.
say
I don't poop.
yeah, he
I'm not
tells
saying
me.
I don't. I'm just saying like.
No,
not
you
like
just
that.
said.
just said you don't
just
poo.
said the words you used were.
Okay,
I don't
Jake,
poo.
I don't eat enough to where I'm gonna go poo, like how you guys go.
You said you used to be big as a house.
Yeah.
You had to have pooed then.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's just, maybe that's what it was. You were backed up.
Yeah.
Maybe she doesn't
That's,
poo.
that's why she was big as
No,
a house.
Shut up. What's it called? I had 2 fat parents, so of course they're gonna have some fat kids.
I don't know. I ain't never seen your parents.
I don't
as
know
far as
about
I know,
that.
they don't exist. I know
How
you
many
got a
times-
sister or somebody you calls a sister, but I ain't never seen your parents.
Jake, you
Yeah.
see my brother?
I seen your brother again.
Mike saw my father.
I got brothers that don't share the same parents. I mean, come on.
No, but I do have a story for you.
No, I don't want some other
No,
story.
uh-huh.
If you can't own up your poo, this ain't a friend of mine or this guy at work and whatever,
I was
and it's
gonna
a
tell you
horrible.
one about me, but fuck you then.
Okay.
Is it about poop?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's hear it.
All right. Like, yeah, when I was big as hell with your neck ass. I don't.
You talk about it all the time.
Yes, and that is still my dream, bro.
God, I hate
Fat
Wait.
will always remain the move.
Your dream is to be fat.
Yes. Like, dude.
I don't want to say that you're not accomplishing your goals here, but you may need like a life coach for this, because you are way behind on your goal here.
I try. I really try.
All right, so poop story. Let's get into it.
Yeah. What do you got?
What was this? Like, I was like, what, 16? Yeah. It was when, like, I.
I don't need a year. I just need a story here.
No, what's it called? Like, I had greenies for the first time.
Okay.
And it was interesting because I was eating everything and I didn't know like what to do. I'm like, I'm hungry. And I'm like, I gotta go to the bathroom. I'm gonna hold it, which is stupid on my part because I should have just went. But I went to my friend's bathroom and I sat there for a second. And out of nowhere, usually it would just go boop, 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 boop. Instead, it was like boom. I'm like, oh my
the
God.
first explosion.
Oh man.
That was so bad. Bro, it was terrible. And they're all just waiting out the door. They're like, Aaliyah, what are you doing? Bro, I'm dying. But then they actually heard it because I made like 3 sounds. And it was like, boom, boom. And then the last one was just like a
Like a
fucking
waterfall.
waterfall. They're like, bro, are you running the water? I'm like, I wish.
Yeah.
That was so bad. This is why you should never have greenies.
No, that has nothing to do with it. It's just,
Yeah, I don't think it was the greenies
It
in this
wasn't the
scenario
greenies,
at
it was
all.
just all the food.
Yeah, it's just a lot of Because
Like, try
dude,
mixing Twinkies with chips with like those stuffed cookies, and then like having a Verner's.
oh
I
yeah,
think I may have known why you were as big as a house. I think I might have
Bro,
just figured that one
Food
out.
used to be the move.
that's
And I was like before I did any running actual sports.
Okay, I love how you. Oh my God, whatever, man. You talk about it like 7 times, and I go, I don't know what you're talking about. I can't even imagine, bro. I was like this. So the fact that I mention it now, oh my God, how dare you mention my whatever? You so totally just turned into a girl there for a minute. Like, oh my
can't-
God.
Yeah.
Wait, what do you mean? I just turned into a
No,
girl.
that's-
I'm
You
not
can't
a girl.
That's gross. That you can't talk about my weight. You talk about all the time. I know I do, but whatever, asshole. So I was big, and I'm like, you say you love it. Like, what is
Right.
wrong? I
Wait.
tell you.
You just told us
So-
that's your goal.
Yeah, in
Wait,
life.
Jake, I'm not a girl.
Huh?
You just said I act like a girl, so I don't act like a girl.
No, never.
What do you mean I don't act like a girl?
You barely act human, bro.
What
Like
do you mean I barely act human?
At this point, I think she's acting more like a dog. I mean, I can't even understand what she's saying, but
Wait.
Yeah.
Shadow's ears are going, what the
Wait.
hell?
I know. If
How do
Shadow
I
was
act
listening
like,
to this
how
at
don't
home,
I act like a girl?
everything you do, and your volcanic poo. So all those
You know-
things combined.
9 times out of 10, I don't even think you act like a human.
What do you mean?
I think that comment came back for her.
What do you mean?
Yeah. No, dude. It.
How don't I act human?
Boy.
Well, that right there, that is not a sound that ever comes out of a real human.
I'm a screecher. It's not my fault.
Yeah, and I like it. She's not on camera either, so it could be like we just got a doll and we're pulling the string, wee 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 wee, and nobody would know because they don't see you.
Man,
You
biak you.
wow, and
Wow.
yeah, and that's that, dude. I had an interesting meme popped up earlier. She actually read it over my shoulder when I was looking at it.
Genders.
Yeah, gender benefits of being in a relationship, and it's got 2 circles and the 2 circles are obviously intertwined there, so the common benefits on the inside, and men, women, and both sex, emotional support, status, right? So that's basically the 3 that are sex and emotional support and status, right? So hey, I'm in a relationship, I got whatever. Women, free dinners, his money, doors held for you, male servants, attention on you, you're never wrong, treated like a princess, protection, and free gifts. Then the men's circle, ? This is very good. She looked at it and it like blew her mind. She was like, no way. Yeah. Oh, ha ha ha. Like,
Right.
it was kind of enlightening, like when she was over the shoulder with it. It made a lot of people happy when they read it, so.
It made sense though. Did
It really
make
does,
sense.
dude. There's-
Like, I can't even deny that. That
And
makes
I've-
so much sense.
And I've had other people that were like, hey, man, if you're dating somebody like that and whatever, that you definitely chose wrong. I was like, oh, yeah.
No.
Done a lot of
No.
done a lot of choosing wrong. Like, oh, your woman should teach you like a king. No.
So, newsflash society, apparently we have all chosen wrong.
I was about to say, isn't that every girl out there? Like, good luck, man.
Yeah, no, there's some. I mean,
No, either they'll have all of those or they'll have half of them.
Yeah, either way, you're getting a fair amount as a chick. Now, if we could just move a couple of those over
Right.
to the blue circle.
Like maybe just
No.
hold a door for me once in a while.
No, haven't you ever heard the phrase "ladies first"?
Free dinner. I mean,
Yeah,
I would be
free
down
dinner?
if you just bought all the meals and cool. Then
Right.
doors held for you. Attention. I really don't want the
Now
attention.
I did get that one with Maddie because I did make sure that she bought all the food in the house.
Did you
So-
keep mentioning this in past tense?
That was I do.
Oh, okay.
I do keep
He
mentioning it
made
in
sure
past.
All right,
she
I was
used
a
to
bit-
buy all the food in
okay,
the house.
all right.
Yeah.
No, that's a thing. I don't know, dude. I went and bought a vacuum for the store today. Right, I feel somewhat accomplished. Right, I washed my car. I got a vacuum for the store because that rug was out of control. Right, it was
Okay.
Yeah, Scoob had, turned it into a fur ball.
He demolished it.
You had a baby Scoob in your rug.
Yeah,
Right.
and just the dirt from coming in and whatever, and we don't have it.
Sure.
We don't have it sent out and cleaned anymore, so we have to do it. So I'm like, okay, cool, right? We got all this and that and whatever, and so I'm looking at it, and I'll do this, and I'm standing in Walmart, right? And today was weird people watching day, and talking of big as a house or bigger
Ooh.
girls or whatever. The happiest creature I've ever seen in life today was the greeter at Walmart. She was a big girl, right?
I mean, well, she does work at Walmart.
She was a big girl, and she had the friendliest, happiest smile in life. And it was weird because I daydream when I'm in, I told her yesterday about driving and making eye contact with a chick as we're making a turn, like a slow 5-mile-an-hour turn. And I'm like, oh yeah, yeah, your life isn't going. You don't want to be with that guy anymore. If
Right.
we were stopped, I'd tell her to get out and we'd drive off happily ever after.
That is so dumb.
So-
I still don't
Dude, it's a thing. It happens. So as I'm sitting there and I'm waiting, and I've got two polar opposites of the spectrum. I've got this big, and I'm teetering on precious big, right? So it's
Bro.
kind of big. Teetering, not 100%, but give it another year or two.
Shaming.
I'm not fat shaming. I'm pointing out what the person looked like. What did Al look like? Kind of like Precious, but a lot lighter. No, it was exactly, it's
Right.
ish. So I'm looking and I go, wow, okay. But her smile and, the way she's looking and whatever. And I'm just like, wow, dude, that's a happy chick and whatever. And, this and this. And I was like, oh, and she was a black lady, right? She was a happy black lady and precious-ish and whatever.
Dude, you
But she was pretty, and I think it was the happiness and the I was like, oh my god, dude, look at her, she's happy. I was like, dude, you know how neat it would be to be with her, other than the fact that I can't really get down, with that
Level of
my next
But
layer
you've
of
done that before.
yeah, it as a story, and I was drunk as a skunk, and I don't remember. But I looked at it, and then my mind, right? So this seems like a good story, right? Like Jake is seeing the beauty in someone who may not be, traditionally looked at as beautiful and whatever. It's a person that I didn't even speak a word to the damn person. Actually, I did on the way in. I was like, hey, how are you? Oh, I'm wonderful. How are you doing? And but I'm sitting there, and I was like, immediately it went from, oh, nice person and smile, and man, she seems happy, and oh, maybe she has the answer to life and whatever. And then I was like, wow, I wonder how mechanically that would work to get, between the leg and the buttocks and whatever. And I was like, I don't even know, so now I'm thinking sexually, I'm looking at an IKEA piece of furniture on how to get, point A into point B. And I'm like,
my
that
God.
seems like a variance of whatever. But if I could, that would be awesome, because that seemed like the happiest person ever.
she had the answers, man.
She very, very
Yeah.
well could have.
I think because it's weird. I've noticed that the bigger people seem to just be happier. They just do. I'm like, maybe there is something to being just ungodly fat.
Well, think about it.
Why I want to do it?
Well, think about it. You've given up on everything.
Everything.
You're just like, yep, I'm going to eat and sweat and not move and watch what's on there. So, I mean, I guess if that's
That
it,
sounds great, actually.
you need to get to eating
yeah,
then, fella. Why don't you put out about 15, 20, and then we'll let us know how you feel.
You know what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have to quit my job, and I'm going to go on government assistance and just get food stamps and just sit there and eat all day.
Yeah?
We're gonna do this, man.
That's the move.
Yeah. I'll eat. I'll sit there. I'll eat. I'll play video games. I'll become one of those fat Twitch guys that's got just acne everywhere and food all over him, and just I'm in the middle of a 48-hour Dungeons and Dragons game here, and our party is at the land of the ogres. I don't actually play Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know what.
what
I was
the
about to
things
say,
are.
Is that a game?
Dude, did you see the thing about the two people that were like, both like 600 pounds, or it's like My 600-Pound Life or whatever?
Yeah.
And they dropped
love
like
that show.
200 pounds apiece, and then they had sex for the first time, I think, in the I think they got together and they just went, we'll get around to sex tomorrow. And they just kept eating, and they put on
Right.
like, they got to like 600, and then they lost, and then they tried to do the
But they're
shenanigans.
so happy together.
I've never watched. You've
Dude.
he's into it.
Dude, that
He's
is
into it.
my show, all right? I will go home and binge watch My 600-Pound Life because some of them are great. Some of them are like, I have a bad problem with eating and like I need to change my life and see some doctors, and like then there's always a happy ending where like you find out halfway through they're like, oh yeah, and there's also this really skinny white dude with this giant woman, and he's like, I just love her for who she is. She's just such a kind, caring soul, and I'm like, that is like real love right there. Like you haven't even boinked that girl.
No, it's not. It's
Yeah, it's
you've got
definitely
things
not,
in
let's be
common.
honest.
Neither one of us can move. Do you
Right.
want to not
Hey.
move together? That sounds a bit more like
We
it.
both like eating Doritos and 2 liters of Mountain Dew and watching Maury at 11 in the morning.
Yeah. And then watching the replay of it at
At
11 at night.
11:03.
And then going, oh my God, what a great day of dining we've had. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, dude, it would be great if it wasn't for the sexy time. I need the sex.
I do need
It's the
the
only
sexy
reason I
time.
exist. Seriously, mine's been winding down like over the since last summer, and like the addiction side of it. Like, hey man, when you guys want to do the podcast? No, it's crazy, dude. I don't know, this isn't working on my computer screen's dirty. You know what? We'll just do it tomorrow. And down the road, I'm going. Give me the move.
Titties.
And it's like, no, that's not how normal people exist.
Right.
And it's weird, and I kind of and it's odd. And I'm trying, like, I always feel like it's a, it's a mystery
Yeah.
that I'm trying to solve. Like, when did it happen? Was it when I started drinking this and that? When I started using cream in my coffee, did I become less like, "Arr," or now it's weird. It's like whack-a-mole. I don't know. It'll just happen on
Maybe
a Tuesday.
because it's just winter.
It could be.
'Cause
No,
it's
normally,
like-
no, for like the last,
Yeah,
like
you like
2
chilled
decades.
out, but now it's like
It-
but now that it's winter, it's like you've really chilled out. Like you don't want to.
Yeah, I don't want to do anything in general.
anything.
Yeah, well.
And don't get me wrong. I mean, I've still done some. I'm not, completely inactive in
You're
that,
not
in that
completely
arena.
sexual.
But just not in the way and the.
I've always wondered about that. Like, if you just woke up one day and were like, I'm asexual, I don't need to have sex.
Me.
How?
No, you. Yeah, I hate you. You just be
that-
trying
that's-
different
that's
stuff
a lot.
every week. You do everything. I mean, it's one great way to be like, I've done everything for 6 days.
7.
No, 6. You got to have it's like when you're typing and you're counting the amount of characters, that slash in between counts as a character.
Right.
Correct, Mr. Coder? It counts
Exactly.
as a character. So, yes, in your day, in the transition between asexual and whatever, it's not like.
I was asexual for a month.
Yeah, it's
for
whatever.
a month. I'll be sexual for a month. See, normal people aren't like, yeah, I'm sexual for a month and then I'm just not for the rest of the year.
Because
Normal
I
people are
tried,
like,
and
I
it's
enjoy
really
having
hard.
sex.
I don't know how people do that. It's weird.
Well, if you want me to draw you a diagram, it's basically I put rod A into eye hole B.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're good. That's
mean-
riveting radio. You guys talk amongst yourself.
Yeah.
Trying to type with no space bar.
Don't
so
you gotta press like the
no, I've got to hit
the
it multiple
mouse?
times and to get it to go through and whatever. Oh, but I was also in the land of Walmart today. I was also inundated by the most pestery. Like this like 60-year-old lady had to have been on Adderall, like extra strength, or she snorted it like right like on her car, like on the center console. Was like, man, I got to get in there, Walmart. Yang. So I only have I've got 2 pillows. I replaced my pillow from when my dog ate my pillow.
Yo, Jay.
Yay.
Adulting things.
Yeah, dude, it was a thing. So I get the 2 pillows and I get the Dirt Devil vacuum, right?
Okay.
For the store. So I'm like, okay. I've got 3 items, right? So I go to the little checkout thing. There's a nice old lady running, and she's slow as could be. A couple other people in front of me. Everyone's slow as could be. I get the Like I'm like I'm sitting here, like if this was my head, I see this like sticking her head like right here, looking ahead of me, like, why are they getting stuff out of their basket too slow? Boom, pulls off like a People magazine and goes, and is speed reading it, and then standing there, and I hear like a sigh, and then again like steps up on the side, like looking in front of me to see what people are doing, and I'm like, I don't want to look at her because I don't want to engage in a conversation or the expected like you're waiting too. So generally it's, do you believe this? Like,
Yeah.
what?
Oh my God.
Like, oh my God, how can it take? I mean, what is
my
this?
God.
You know, how much of that do you need? Do you? And she looked to count somebody, like, did they have 20 items or less? And I'm like, oh, imagine being, now mind you, I was looking at the semi-precious, and I've got this crazy psycho lady behind me. So I'm noticing everything. Like if you give me one thing, I'm aware, right? So I'm like, oh, look at you. The answer to life may be, in between the Twinkie and the ho-ho aisle or whatever. And then the psycho lady behind me, and I'm like, what would it be like to be in that person's skull? Like, you cannot deal. You cannot cope. You did the speed reading of a magazine in like 2 seconds. I watched her like count. I heard something. Like, oh my God, if there was 21, what is she going to do? Is she going to jump into action? Walmart police, you have 21 and this 22. And I've been like, I'm just like, oh my God. So it was kind of weird. I walked up, I talked to the lady. She intervened on me. What did she do?
I was not there. I don't know.
She did something.
She was looking.
Oh no,
Fine.
dude, Miss Busybody behind me. So the lady's like, okay, I'll be with you in 1 second, hon, or whatever. And I was like, okay. So I grabbed the box of the doohickey, right? So I'm older lady. I don't want her like throwing out her elbow, trying to find where the barcode is on this box, right? So it's a tall box. So I pick it up and she, I'll be with you in 1 second. I was like, oh, I'm not in a rush, ma'am. I'm just getting the barcode. Oh, well, thank you, whatever. And I was, yeah, no problem. I put it there, and she, and I had the pillows sitting right there, and had the pillows, and I don't know, with a barcode on a pillow, I'm not going to look around. You can grab the pillow, Granny, right? Like,
Right.
you're going to have to do some of the work around here, sister. So she takes the pillow. The lady behind me goes, grabs my pillow and goes, and all I see is an arm. Like, I will not make eye contact with her because I'm like, I don't want to be engaged in like, I'm afraid you're going to like
Spit venom into my face.
just like tractor beam me into your like psychosis. And I'm like, I was like, cool. That's kind of neat. And yeah.
I did one time. This was when I was in high school, and we were going to we were at a party, and when you're at a party in high school, and then nobody ever plans for this stuff. Apparently, high schoolers are not good at forethought and planning. We always run out of like chips or alcohol or something, and I was always the one who looked old enough for some reason to go buy alcohol. So we went to our local grocery store. We got some beer and some chips, and we ended up with 11 items. It is 11:55. The grocery store closes at midnight. There is literally no one else in the store. Like, there is no cars in the parking lot. And so I walk up to the first lane that's open. It happened to be the 10 items or less. And the person at the register like starts counting my items and is like, "Sir, you have 11 items here."
Oh, and you got
I
called on
I was
your...
like, yeah, there. Can I just? She's like, no, you have to go to a lane that is designed for more than 11 items. And I'm looking at her like, are you telling me you have 2 sets of software right now, and this one cannot handle more than? I'm like, cool. Then ring up the first 10 and ring up the next one. Like, I don't want to walk, and I'm a little pissy at this point because I'm like, it's 11 items. I didn't show up to your lane with 100 items. Like, there is no one else in the store. Just ring up my items. Just do your job. Which I guess kind of she was, but like, just ring up my first 10 and then ring the next one up.
You're the only one in the store, so it's like, really?
Right. And then I got paranoid because I'm like, oh shit, like, is she gonna get pissed off and try to like ID me now? And I'm gonna be like, oh, I left it in my car. Gee, I'll be right back. Run. But no, it all worked out. She was just like, I'm gonna let you slide this time. And I'm like,
Yeah, I know, like...
okay, thank you so much for your hospitality of my 11 items. You're such a great person.
Yeah, it's a real thing, that power trip that people take. And look, I mean, there are things set and rules and whatever that are set for certain things. And yes, I also don't like the people who randomly fly into lanes and, waiting to get up to the end and you're supposed to merge and you don't. I don't like people that put 25, items in a, 17 or less or whatever, right? I just think it's certain, screw it, that one's big. And some people don't care, and they're very aloof in the manner in which they go about things that the rest of us kind of adhere to.
Right.
And again, I'll go back to mine and, the beating a dead horse of issues. People that don't put their shopping carts back. It drives me insane.
You're
Even in the cold.
Leave them in a parking spot.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I don't care. If there's a shopping cart in my parking spot, I will slowly just use my car to nudge it out of the way.
Yeah, but then you're putting
I was gonna say.
now poor Leah
Right.
in the car that she doesn't pay insurance or anything for and whatever gets dinged and whatever. That's
I mean,
not
I
what
won't
they need.
nudge it into another car, but I'll
But no,
slowly
once
nudge
have you
it
not
away
seen
from
the
my
have
car
you not
and then-
seen the
If
cart
you
go
move a cart,
and it
will
takes on
hit
its own
something.
life? Dude, there's YouTube videos of the
Now
ghost
you got
ship.
me thinking about my life over here. I'm like, man, am I like running around parking lots just dinging people's car with carts?
Oh yeah, if you bump it and it's on its own thing and you may pull off and be like, because what are you mad at the shopping cart or are you
Yeah.
mad at the individual who left the shopping cart, right? So
Well,
probably
Darn-
a little bit
darn
both. He doesn't
shopping
care.
cart
That's
in my
right.
parking space and
it's
gonna
funny
make
how-
me park one spot to the next.
It's
to
funny.
it.
It's funny how people will play that too, because you got some people, goddamn shopping cart man, they got the stuff. Then other people, like me, the damn person who was so lazy they couldn't have walked it 6 feet over there and put it
Right.
away is now putting me or this guy or this chick, and it's not even really her car or whatever, all in danger with a ding and a
off my
scrape
car,
and whatever.
man.
You
Right.
know what I mean? So you've got all of those things, and then there's the other person that's mad at Walmart because Walmart doesn't hire enough people, and there weren't enough people in the checkout aisle, and there's not enough people out there pushing
Yeah.
carts. So if he would be there on his job, like like Zohan when they were cutting hair, and he just kind of jumped down, and
Yeah.
like not one hair is is acceptable. You must have a clean floor. So it's weird how different people will take different points of one thing happening and going,
Now I take you in back and have the sexy time with you.
yeah, no. First, I must, hey, Mister Good-looking guy, you give me the. I must cut and style Mrs. Skitz hair, and this is a good movie. I like it.
That was quality.
I
movie, man.
still can't. I can breathe a little bit better now.
Really?
I think
Although-
I'm allergic to something in here.
on that whole,
That is BS.
you have an idea, and then 3 years later,
Yeah.
I got pissed off one time because I was like, I don't like going. I hate going to the grocery store, man. I hate it.
He
like
does too.
I want 10 items, and it takes an hour to get those 10 items because they're not all like right where I want them. And this is just because I'm lazy and I don't want to walk. So like I will get 9 of my 10 items and be like, I'm not going 2 aisles back. No, that's just I'm leaving.
Why don't you just get in those
So I was like-
lazy old lady carts?
Because that is one thing that even I am like, no, that is for people who are like, they have real problems. I even get mad when I see like people that are just fat get in those carts, and I'm like, no, you don't have like you have 2 working legs. You're just fat. Like maybe you need to walk a little bit, okay? Like if you actually, but I don't want to say anything because like maybe they have a problem and they're like, yes, I'm very fat because I have this disease and my leg does not work right, and I'm like, oh great, now I'm like a super douchebag. Aaliyah's totally right about me. But I'm
I ain't
like,
denying nothing.
I had the idea that like, why don't we just have like personal shoppers? Like, why can't I just call up Meijer and be like, I need these items. Like, all your
That's
items are
literally
online.
Kroger.
Let me just order my stuff and like delivery to my house.
What?
Yeah.
Why don't you just
And, like,
go
thr-
to ClickList at Kroger and they can just
Yeah.
bring your stuff
3 years
out?
later, Kroger's like, we have click list, and I'm like, that was my idea. No.
Yeah, but see, you don't have. I mean, you got to really look at what's going on with your life because you're coming up with the ideas,
And then sitting on the couch and being like, that would be a great
and
idea.
you've got the know-how
To do it.
push them along.
do it.
So you suck at life.
Yeah.
You suck at life. You do the same
No,
thing.
No.
I do not have the ability to get it done. I do not.
I
You've
did-
seen me in action.
I did
Come
have
up
the
with
one
great-
idea that would have solved your problem today and the lady behind you's problem today, which she was the one who really had the problem, that I have done active development on, and I have pitched it to a couple of the unnamed grocery chains around the area where all of our cards now have like RFID readers in them, and like I can pull the information, your credit card number and all that stuff off of it. You walk out the door and it counts the items in your basket prices it all up and pulls the credit card right out. And if the credit card is declined or whatever, it just, and the door doesn't open for you. You can't leave. Now they're all like, well, what about this? What about that? And I'm like, I don't care. I just don't want to stand in a line anymore. But I'm going to be so mad if I did all the work on that and like Meijer debuts in 3 years and they're like, you don't have to stand in lines anymore. We pull it right off your credit card. I'm going to be like, there's going to be a lawsuit in that case. I'm going to be like, you owe me a lot of money because that was my idea.
And you said it on the podcast, so technically
Yeah.
they do.
And they did not sign an NDA when I showed them the idea and I demoed it for them. But still, if you try to take that idea, I have a record of me giving you that idea, and if you don't pay me, I will sue you.
It's
so
very-
Meijer, if you're listening,
it's very Winklevoss twins and Zuckerberg, right?
right.
Yeah, that's a thing. Dude, Meijer's doing random stuff.
Yeah.
Meijer's teamed up with and I don't shop at Meijer's. There just isn't one that's as close to
There's one across the street from
Yeah, there's
where?
there's like
From
one on Ford
Kroger,
Road, one on
North
down on
Canton
Westland.
Center,
Don't go
yeah.
to the one on Ford Road, man. Nobody needs to be on Ford Road for any reason.
what, the Ford
Everybody
Road in
needs to
Canton?
be
No,
on Ford.
I will not go one block west of anywhere I need to go for any reason.
Dude, I go to Meijer, this one at Meijer, and I only go at like I go shopping at weird times, right? I will go shopping at 2 a.m. just so I don't have to deal with people. Like that's when I will go shopping.
That's the best time to go
Right,
shopping.
because I am not going right after work where everybody's going and everybody's trying to get the last pack of like sausages that I want, and I'm like, no, I'm just gonna let them do their thing, and everybody goes, and then they restock the shelves, and I come in and I got nobody's there. I can just stroll through and get my stuff, and then get home and play more video games because it's 3 a.m. What am I doing with my life?
Well, when you pitch stuff, do you pitch stuff specifically to like, oh, Meijer's this and this because it's in your general, whatever, or do you know of like random grocery chains that are across the U.S. that are doing big things regionally? Because Meijer's is obviously
Right.
Local, regional, I guess.
So I kind of like pick like Meijer, right? So Meijer was one of the first people I brought the idea to because I was like, you guys are regional, you're small
I
enough
know
to
you guys.
I know a lot of the people that work here, so I like called up my buddy who worked at Meijer's, and I'm like, who's your supervisor? And then I called that person. I'm like, who's your supervisor? Till I got like the regional VP, and I called him, and I was like, I want to get a meeting. Like I have a product that I really want to integrate into your system, and like then I did the same thing with like Walmart, and they were like, haha, you're dumb. No, we're not going to listen to you. And I was like, all right, cool. Sell it to someone else, and never did sell it, but I got it. It's a thing. If anybody owns a grocery store in Biloxi, Mississippi that wants to debut this system, and
No, actually, believe it or not, through through my beverage side of business and all the things that we've done, ironically, 7-Eleven, right? 7-Eleven, which is a small chain or whatever, but a small version of a grocery store, but
Right.
there are a lot of SKUs and they use everything. It runs virtually the same. So that was good.
that was
So-
a good one.
It was for you there, Finger. So with that, we have people who know, like, are on the inside who we can call. Like, if my buddy was like, yeah, blah 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 blah, and he's a salesman on top of it, to go, hey, could put in touch. Now, granted, we know all the buyers and
Right.
all the the new product VPs and the regional and national and whatever, but very easy when you're on a first name basis, lunch basis, because a couple of your products are being carried nationally. Hey, who do we call? Dude, this guy's got a great piece of software. I think it would excellent.
Right.
Boom, boom, boom. Do the same thing.
Yeah, if
Same
you
thing
can-
with Winco, Brookshire's, Market Street. These are all really cool grocery chains that are outside of here. And I'm sure you go to doggone, North Carolina, and they've got different. You go to Arizona, they've got different. You're always going to have your Krogers of the world and
Right.
your Walmarts and whatever, but there is a nice sub-level of really good regional, localized or regional
Yeah.
grocery chains.
And it might actually be more marketable now with the whole re-kick and, let's raise minimum wage. And if I'm a business owner, I'm like, I really don't want to pay somebody $15 to stand at a register all day when I can buy a system for a couple $1 million and make my money back within the same year.
Well, the interesting thing is when you say that and whatever, they've got like 28 lanes of everything, and I don't think I
And
mentioned
they're
this.
never
but,
open.
Well, because we didn't do a show after Christmas, right? Went on a small hiatus where it was just chill time. But I go to Walmart. I ran into like 4 people I hadn't seen in a while. I ran into my buddy Marlon, sister's ex-boyfriend, my buddy Banco. The boys were there, remember?
Right.
And I was like, dude, what are your roommates doing? What are you doing? I was like, I'm not doing the podcast. I'm buying, stuff. I don't even know what I was getting, food, or Astroglide. I don't know. So
you got something now.
I got something though. So I came out of that joint because I waited in line. I was like, dude, I've been waiting. I'm gonna go ahead and power through. But all those lines and just, you got 26 lanes. You had 2 open, and even the self checkout thing, like just nobody, either everyone just said screw it, I'm not coming to work, but just the way they improperly man those lanes on a
Right.
general basis. Why would you have them if you're not going to utilize any of them? And I doubt you can't find people to work them, right?
Sure.
You're just not running them. So automating it is almost the only way. And
Yeah.
I would think because they're not doing it, they have to listen to customer, just crap and reviews and whatever. Oh, maybe they're working on something, currently where they're,
Right.
Well,
then they'll owe me a lot of money, but no, that's if you listen to me long enough, you'll figure out like my whole deal in life right now is like how much stuff do I not have to do? Like programmers are inherently lazy. We don't like to do things. That's why we're programmers. We're like, this is dumb. I don't have to stand in a checkout line. I want you to just do it automatically. It's not like I'm going to stand in a checkout line and be like, actually, I didn't want any of this stuff. I'm just going to leave now. Like,
agreed.
if I went and did all this work, I'm going to pay. So I don't want to stand in your stupid line. Let me go into like the express line where I walk into a little sensor thing and it reads all the shit in my cart and takes my credit card info and boop, done.
Yeah. Yeah, like a VIP.
Right.
You
like
know?
a VIP, you could even brand it like you're a Meyer VIP. You don't
Like
have to
I
stand
don't
in
grocery
line.
shop. When I feel put out at a grocery store, they shouldn't worry about me because I don't go there all the time, right? And if I do, it's small little stuff. I'm not spending a ton of money. I go in, I get apples, I get the broccoli, I'll get the. I'm not going there and ringing up like carts full of crap,
Right.
Like the people you see was like, ooh, what are you doomsday prepping with the amount of food you got there, like,
Right.
Bizarre.
But people hate it so much that they'll go in there and they'll be like, I'm shopping once for like the next month. And then they'll run out of food in 3 weeks and be like, nope, we're eating the beans in the fridge. Like, I ain't doing it. I ain't going shopping. I go shopping next week.
Or go and get Qdoba because that was a great choice.
Yeah, that is always, Qdoba is always a great choice.
And that's what the passing of gas about 15, about 7 or 8 minutes ago was courtesy of
there
Qdoba.
are trade-offs, but Qdoba is always a great choice. You
It
go
was
in
a
there,
good-
you get some Drunken Sailor tacos. Oh.
Ew,
Yeah.
You all end up in the bathroom exploding.
No,
Well,
that's you.
Again,
No.
everybody poops. So.
Yeah, everybody. And I guarantee you if you started charting it like poor Richard's Almanac or whatever, and you go through the from the time you were here and there and look at the changes, and you could probably chart your poo system depending on the time
Yeah.
of year what you eat.
Maybe that should be like a Thursday podcast. Next Thursday.
How was your poo?
Next Thursday, I want an Aaliyah poop chart.
How
I
many?
wanna know
what
how
was
many
the
poops
duration?
you had
What
per
did you
day.
think about why you were pooing?
Yeah. I need the full psychological
Her
breakdown
brain
here.
just started bleeding. Like
Yeah.
that. Did you see like her had the furrowed brows and everything? Well, on that note, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here because we've now just started talking about poo charts. But we had poo knife. Poo knife seemed relative, and now we're into poo charts. So
It's just been a pooey night.
it really is. And I gotta figure out something. I gotta get some decongestant or something because I'm just in a like sinus pressure-y.
What happened to your Mucinex?
It wasn't doing the trick. I was taking the Mucinex and I still felt the same. So I went, okay, that's not doing the trick. Or maybe I've built up some weird psychotic immunity to Mucinex to where it's only going to work if I have bronchial, stuff that needs to come out. But it was working for my ears and my whatever. And it's pretty good because I can gauge a lot of it off my buddy John, the manager at the other store. If I've got weird sinusy crap happening and whatever, it's crazy. Yeah, I had that last week. He seems about 4 or 5 days ahead of me on anything. So it's not like abnormal. I feel good. Like if he was like Dude, I feel perfect. I haven't heard anyone mention anything about being sick. I would be nervous. I'd be like,
Right.
I better go to the doctor. But every time I double check, he was like, yeah, man, with the ear pain and the little thing, whatever. Yeah, man, I've had it. I've had the pain right here. And I was like, not me. Mine's behind the eyes. But yeah, but the ear. Okay. So it must be a real thing.
Yep.
Okay. Well, on that note, I'm going to go ahead and go. I feel a little bit sassier now, but I still can't breathe in. Like, I feel like I'm doing nitrous
Just be
oxide
a
because I'm
mouth
not getting all
breather.
the. I'm going to mouth breathe you right upside the head.
Ew.
I don't know.
I don't know how that would work, but I'm interested to try it.
I'm gonna breathe very expressively into the side of your head.
And he's not even gonna have a Mento before it.
No mento. But man, I gotta sound like an operator, man. My nose is cloggy. Dude, stupid. If
Just do me a favor and say, how can I direct your call?
but now I'm gonna want to say it in a certain way, and I'm not. And
How can I help you? How can I direct your call?
Yep, and there's the operator. Well, on that note, this is the Bachelor Radio Facebook Live. Yeah, we tried to put together a show. I can't breathe. My sinuses is out of control.
Oh my god, dude.
I can't say my S's because there's something, I don't know, whatever's connected with it is not working. But this is it. This is us. Me too. Time's up.
Good night.
No, ma'am.
That's right, and no ma'am. Oh man.